What's up, guys? Alex here again with some more records to show you guys. Let's get into this. Starting with the 5 hip hop 12 inches I picked up this month. All of these came off a close friend of mine, and they're all 2-pack 12 inches. The first is Fugs Get Lonely 2 featuring Nate Dogg. This was a good song, actually. It has the radio edit, the clean version, the LP version, the instrumental version. And then on the flip side, it's got the song Hennessy Red Spider remix, featuring EDI and Sleepy Brown. So yeah, that was sealed. Most of the 2-pack 12s were sealed when I got them off of him. And I paid a really decent price for them as well. I Ain't Mad at Ya, 12 inch, which is really good. Oh yeah, this I Ain't Mad at Ya, I believe, was the only one that wasn't sealed. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, this is the Dear Mama EP. Has Dear Mama, Run the Streets, Hit 'Em Up, which is one of my favorite 2-pack tracks. And then Can't See Me. This is Major Frets with the Gang Starr Biggie 2-pack Onu remix. This is an unofficial 12 inch, but you know, DJ Premier is one of my favorite producers in hip hop, so I had to make sure I grabbed this. And then KRS-One and OC are on the flip side with their song You Don't Stop. So there's that. Then this 12 inch has, I think it's like an album sampler, but it has California Love on here. It has How Do You Want It and Hit 'Em Up, as well as 2 of America's Most Wanted. So I'm guessing it's like an album sampler for All Eyes on Me, but I'm not 100% sure. So that is it for hip hop 12 inches. I have a couple more 12 inches. Go by the Chemical Brothers. Yes, I have 2. I really do like this song. It has Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest on the vocals on that track, and he's probably one of my favorite rappers at the moment. But yeah, I had to make sure that I grabbed that because why not? And maybe if it's worth a bit of money in the future, who knows? But I don't buy records to make money off of them. I buy to listen to them. So keeping ones that's sealed is good because I feel like I'm going to be playing this 12 inch a lot, as I do like the song quite a bit. Onto the albums. This first one my parents picked up for me. Adeva. I don't really know how you say that, but this is house music. I'm not a big fan of house music generally. I mean, I like little bits here and there, but for the most part, it's not my favorite genre. But there's a few things on here that are pretty good, so I'm just going to keep it in the collection anyway. 1989 is the year on this. So I figured why not keep it and just see how it goes. And for the most part, there are a few bits on that I liked. Next album is Christopher Cross by Christopher Cross. I really liked his song Ride Like the Wind, which is on this album, so I'm going to make sure I pick this up. 1979 is the year on this album, so of course I'm going to make sure I get that. And of course the song Ride Like the Wind also features Michael McDonald on the backing vocals, and I'm becoming a big Doobie Brothers fan, so grabbing that is good for me. Next up is Rise by Herb Alpert. The only reason that I picked this up is because Biggie sampled the bass line from the title track for his song Hypnotize, and that reason alone was enough for me to pick this album up. 1979 is the year on this album. I'm not really that big of a Herb Alpert fan. I have, I think, maybe 1 or 2 7s by him, but that's about it. I've been looking for this album for a while, so I jumped at the opportunity to grab it, but only because Biggie sampled it. So now I have that. I don't know, we'll see, but for the most part, I think I'm done with Herb Alpert anyway, for a while at least. Next album is Janet Jackson, Control. I already had Rhythm Nation, so now I have the other album by Janet I was looking for. This is another good album, of course. 1986 is the year on this. And of course this has songs like Control, Nasty, What Have You Done For Me Lately, which I actually have had the 7 for already. But now I have the album, which is fantastic, and I have been looking for this for a while, so it's nice to finally have that. Next album is Zagora by Loose Ends. Actually becoming quite a big Loose Ends fan. This album definitely changed that for me. 86 is the year on this one as well. I wouldn't say it's the best album I've ever heard, but it's definitely a good one, to say the least. An artist I haven't showed off on my channel, at least album-wise, for a while, that's George Benson, and this is his album While the City Sleeps, which, after listening to this and comparing it to the other albums by him that I like, this is probably my favourite. 1986 is the year on this one. Again, so 86 is becoming quite a strong year in this vinyl haul, and you know, this has producers like Kashif featuring on here, and Narada, Michael Walden, so of course I'm going to make sure I grab this. On this has songs like Kisses in the Moonlight, Shiver, Teaser, Secrets in the Night. You know, just so many great songs, so this is probably, after comparing it to the other George Benson albums I have, definitely has now become my favourite, I would say, overtaking Gimme the Night, which was probably my favourite one before that. Before I get to the next one, I just want to say that I don't usually like to play favourites, unless it comes to artists and bands and things like that, but album-wise, usually I don't like to play favourites, but I'll make an exception for that one. Okay, now to the next album. This is Will Downing by Will Downing, and 1988, I believe, is the year on this. Yeah, 88 is the year on this. This is on the 4th and Broadway label, and yeah, fantastic album actually. Songs like A Love Supreme are on here. Sending Out an SOS is also on here. Do You Remember Love is on here. Free is on here. In fact, every single song on this album, I love it. If you are a fan of old school R&B, definitely check this album out and see what you guys think of that. Next up is an album that I didn't want to start with, this album by this band, but I wanted to check out more of their stuff anyway, because I wasn't too familiar with them. But this is Yes. This is their album Close to the Edge. I wanted to start with the album that actually followed this one, which is Tales of Topographic Oceans, but I know that album a little bit too well already, so I picked this one up instead. 1972 is the year on this. It's actually a decent album, I'm not gonna lie. There's a few parts on this album I didn't like, but you know, I love the artwork that on Yes albums, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, oh yeah, and Rock and Roll Hall of Famers now as well, so there's another bonus. Another band I've shown off recently on my channel, and quite a bit as well, and one I plan to get into a bit more, is REO Speedwagon. This is their debut self-titled album. This is of course a reissue, but from what year I'm not 100% sure. 71 to the original year on this album. But yeah, great album. Sounds like Dead at Last, Gypsy Woman's Passion, Lay Me Down, Satisfied Lady are all on here. So of course I'm going to make sure I pick up the album where it all started for REO. And I know Billy Hurst as well, another member of the VC. Shout out to you, Billy, because I know you are a big REO Speedwagon fan. Next album I'm going to show is another REO Speedwagon album. This is Wheels Are Turning by REO Speedwagon. 1984 is the year on this one. There are songs on here like The Only One Lonely Night, Rock and Roll Star, Wheels Are Turning, obviously. Another good REO Speedwagon album. Personally, not my favorite. I still love High Fidelity by REO Speedwagon I would call that one my favorite, but this is still does not change my opinion on REO Speedwagon. I do still like a lot of their music. Now on to 4 new albums. I say new, none of these are new releases, but these were brand new when I bought them. First up is Zombie by Fela Kuti and the Africa 70. This is a 2014 reissue of a 1976 album. Originals of this are so expensive though, and this is probably my #1 Afrobeat record, and not many Afrobeat records would make my top 10, but this one definitely would, just because both A and B sides are incredible. I've become a big Fela Kuti fan over the last few months, and this is the first Afrobeat record I heard that got me addicted to Afrobeat, so of course I had to make sure that I picked this up. And if you want to get into Afrobeat, this is where I would start. Next are all hip-hop albums, so if you're not a hip-hop fan, this is the time you can click off the video, but these are all hip-hop albums. First up is Busta Rhymes. Now, I'm going to have to read the title of the album so I don't get it wrong. It's Extinction Level Event, The Final World Front. Okay? This is a 2015 reissue of his 1998 album. And what really got my attention with this album was the color. Now, I'm not a big fan of colored vinyl, but I mean, look at that. That's orange and cream. It looks white on camera, but it is cream. It doesn't look that good up close like this, but as it spins on the turntable, it looks pretty cool. I'll cut it some slack and just say the album is good. I wish it was just pure black vinyl, but you know, I'm not complaining too bad. And honestly, well, not my favorite Busta album. I'm still going to say it's still a good one, because it has Janet Jackson features on the album. And then Ozzy Osbourne also features on the album, on the same track where he actually samples the song Iron Man by Black Sabbath, which of course he would have had to get Ozzy to come and feature on that track. I mean, I wonder why. I mean, come on. Next up is There Is a Dark Side by Redman. Again, not the best Redman album, but still good. Still an okay album. I forget what year this is from. But this is just a single album. There's the inner sleeve there, like so, and yeah, just a good album. I'm gonna say it's a good album. Redman is definitely a good rapper, a good lyricist, I'll give him that, so, you know, give credit where credit is due. So now I have a Redman album in my collection. And finally is an album that did come out last year, 2016, but you hardly ever see it in stores. In fact, I've never seen it in a record store, so I broke down and bought it online, and it's the No Worries album. This is vocalist Anderson .Paak and producer Knowledge. But this whole album from start to finish is just incredible. I do like this album. Probably one of my favorites that I've purchased this year. There's the inside of the gatefold there. That looks pretty nice to me. And that is the last album I'm going to show you. Actually, this album is really good. I would highly recommend that if you're a hip-hop fan or you are a fan of Anderson .Paak, that you check this album out, because it's definitely one hell of a good album. I'll give you that much. I'm not going to spoil too much because I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, I couldn't pick a favorite off of this album just because that is that damn good. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more vinyl videos. Peace.